Hi guys, another couple quick videos today. Friday, fun day. Anyway, I finally read in a good, attentive manner Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. This is the Wordsworth classic, and these are really cheap editions, and they're fine or whatever. If you just want to read something for a few bucks, I picked this up at the used bookstore, $2.50. Um, and the great thing about this book, I have to say, is it had a very useful introduction. Now, what I usually do when I read books is I'll probably read the introduction after I've read the book because I don't like spoilers and so on. Okay, so Sir Gawain and the Green Knight was written in the 14th century, so it's like Chaucer time, and it's obviously updated language. So originally, this was written as an alliterative poem, um, and I bet you it was really awesome in the original form. But this author put it into prose with each little chapter having a little one stanza at the end of each little tiny chapter. So if you look here, the pages are not full. Like there's so it's I don't know 100 and something pages, 103 5 pages, but it's an easy read. You could read this start to finish in say 2 hours because just so little print. However, it's a little hard to understand what's going on here and there. Not because of it's an antiquated language or whatever. It's not. It's in modern English, but the conceptions are so strange. You you're not 100% sure what's going on. So with certain things, one of the problems with reading literature is sometimes the key moments are just one sentence long, and if you don't quite get that sentence, you're kind of like, what's going on here? And so there's a small glossary at the back of the book. It's only say 20. It's got about 20 terms, and most of them refer to either pieces of armor that the knights wore, the names of that armor, and there was a few terms about hunting, like because of parts of deer or whatever, because there's a hunting scene in it. So that's not altogether helpful. The glossary, anyway. There's a few other terms I didn't recognize, and they weren't. No definition was provided. I mean, you could probably look them up on Google or whatever. Okay, so Sir Gawain and the Green Knight is by an anonymous author, but an author they think wrote two other courtly pieces of literature, and I'll just tell you what they are here. I have to pause that part in the video. The Pearl. Okay, patience and cleanness, patience and pearl. This Sir Gawain and the Green Knight was found in a manuscript with three other works that scholars say have the same vocabulary and blah blah blah. So uh, there you go. Um, okay, so what's the story about? The story is about. It starts at King Arthur's Camelot around the Round Table. I'm not going to tell you all the details, but basically, it's about this weird event that happens where Gawain takes on an obligation to fight this sort of magical knight that the story makes it look like it's mostly going to end in his death, but he's honor bound to do it, and he takes on the honor because it would be dishonorable for the knights to let King Arthur take the risk when they should be the one taking the risk. Anyway, most of the story is set in a castle nearby when he's waiting for this challenge to happen, and it's basically a test of Sir Gawain's chastity. So that plays this really the central point in the whole story. Sir Gawain's brave, so his bravery is tested by meeting this knight in the end, the Green Knight, and his chastity is tested at the castle. So those are basically, when you talk about medieval courtly ethics, that's what you get. Okay, you've got purity of heart, purity of body, and bravery and honor. And so basically, the story sort of navigates the paradox between courtesy, so being polite, and yet preserving your chastity. Okay, so that's why I made the thumbnail so provocative in that way. So anyway, it's an interesting read, but very strange. There's a lot of things, for instance, in anything set in a different time and place, like even Homer or whatever, that you quite don't quite get what the significance is, or what's the dilemma here. But the dilemma with Sir Gawain is, of course, preserving his chastity, his honor, his bravery, and yet being courteous, polite, genteel, right? Okay, so do I recommend it? I recommend it if you're going to put the work into thinking about it and trying to figure out what the morality is here. Okay, but it is a morality story. It's a story of the values of the of courtly culture. Okay, so that's all I want to say there. It's a quick couple hour read. Again, I tried to read it before and got sort of confused and so on, but I put in a good effort there. Anyway, thanks guys. I'll be back with another video in a minute. Hope everyone's doing well.